September 12th. It's 5:30 p.m., so I'm going to call the Ayer Board of Health to order. Public input, there's nobody here tonight. If the members don't mind, I'd like to just switch the agenda because we have the zoning enforcement officer soon to be the building inspector, Charlie. Are you officially Charlie now?
Yeah, March 15th.
Oh, excellent.
Great, congratulations.
So he is here tonight to discuss a problem we have with 41 East Main Street. We had the developer here before, so the permit went around for everybody. So Charlie, I'm going to let you start with this.
Okay.
So for people that don't know, this is currently, if I say the three-family house with the big gazebo in the yard, everybody will know, oh yeah, I know what she's talking about now. So the proponent wants to take the current three-family, make it 2 condos and put 2 new buildings up, 2 two-unit condos, and the sides of them will face East Main Street, the front of them will face Pond. So, okay, Charlie, so let's go ahead here.
Okay, let me start with, I'm all over the place because I have a bunch of different issues. Okay, he's got the operation and maintenance plan. The first thing is he's got it set for 44 East Main Street, which is across the road.
Yeah.
41. So he goes on to describe what the inspections that need to be done and the maintenance that needs to be done. And by reviewing this, he doesn't have any cost associated with any of this. And one of the paved surfaces, you need a vacuum truck at a minimum quarterly basis. Who inspects it once it's turned over to the owners? Like I say, what is the cost going to be? Where's the funding going to come from? Is it going to be set aside in an escrow account? Because normally when something's sold to the owners, you know, it just kind of it vanishes. It may not in this case, but I don't see any control with any of that. And who oversees it? Does the Board of Health take care of it? And where are the files kept for this, and who pays if the Board of Health agent has to go out there to do the inspections? And is there a condo association that this is going to be written into their bylaw?
Well, Charlie, we did ask him, excuse me for interrupting you, when he was here last, what is your plan? Are you going to be the owner? And he said, well, depending on what the market is, I hope to sell these. Well, what happens if you sell one of the new 2-bed units and you don't sell the rest? And of course there wasn't an answer for that. So that presents a problem, and we had it with another area of town a few years back, and it does present a problem.
It's some of these roads that are paper roads are presenting a huge problem.
Yes.
Because they were never dealt with in the beginning, and then they let them join other roads to it, and now you don't know what's going on with it. So that's kind of what I see in this O&M plan is there should be a bond or some sort of fee set aside in escrow that the town has access to, because it looks by his site plan that everything has to work together in order to work. So if the rain garden isn't maintained properly, it's going to overstress all the other recharge trenches and everything else they have to control their calculations for the impervious surface. So that's one of my big concerns is the money put aside? Who inspects it? Who keeps the records? Is it going to be? Is the town going to be reimbursed, because this should be at no cost to the town? Another one which the DPW also had is it shows 2 gas lines running under the rain garden, and I don't think that is BMP. And it also shows a proposed sewer clean out running under the rain garden.
That's definitely a problem.
Then he has on, I think it's page, let me see, page 2, next to the driveway, they have a detail that shows a 9-inch gravel filled by 18-inch deep strip next to the driveway, and then it goes to grass, covered by fabric filter. The first time, in my opinion, the first time they plow it or shovel it, the top of the fabric filter is coming off.
That's a really good point.
And if that needs to be set up to keep silt out of the rocks, once that's ripped, there's no protection, so that's going to fail.
Sure.
And if it has to, it's designed to work with the fabric filter completely wrapped around it. Once the driveway's in and all the grass is in, how are you going to keep digging up this 9-inch by 18-inch deep strip to wrap it in fabric filter all the time? Or are they just going to throw something on the top? So I
Gotcha.
don't like the design of that, because
Yeah.
that's going to fail. I would say anyone
Yeah.
with a shovel would hit it. So that is another issue. And then the proposed roof runoff recharge trench, according to the building code, let me pull it out, I wrote it down, section 401.3, it states that well, don't quote me on this, but drainage, let me find it so I have it correctly. Got a bunch of notes. Here it is. Lots shall be graded to drain surface water away from foundation walls. Well, the recharge trench does the opposite. It brings it right down against the foundation, so
It does.
from the Mass State Building Code, I don't agree with these recharge trenches. And that's gotta be critical to make the runoff from the roof work. That's the recharge, the rain garden, and then they may have room, but on unit 3 and 4, the proposed top of concrete is 249.5. And according to the building code, they must have 6 inches, must drop 6 inches within 10 feet of the house. And then they need 8 inches from framing to dirt. So if you take that into account, that's 14 inches. That would put final grade at about 248.3, and the top of the rain garden is at 248.
248.
So if any of this roof runoff, which I don't think can be calculated to get rid of it by the recharge trenches, has to drain into that rain garden, I don't think they're not gonna have enough slope to make it, because from the back of the corner of the house to the rain garden is approximately 52 feet you might have 3 inches of pitch in 52 feet. So if any leaves collect there,
Yeah.
and it's not exactly right, so I would probably ask for a review of Ross's calculations with final elevations in it, because they're not really giving us final elevations. And if this site is to be taken as a whole, as Pam said, there's 24% impervious surface already on the existing lot without the new impervious surface. So they're already over the 15%, and although it's pre-existing non-conforming, because they're doing work on the whole parcel,
Yeah.
I think whatever they're going to use to take care of the runoff from the roofs in the proposed section, that this is allowed, that they also have to address the other part of the parcel, which is existing.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion on
Well,
how I read their plan. They're not here to question. They may have an answer for everything. So,
It's funny that you bring up the grade, because I too had questions about that, where I'm looking at this whole thing being, you've got 248 as the maximum height here. It doesn't seem like you've got a whole lot of grade directing
it doesn't seem
things
like
that way,
it.
yeah.
And Ross is very good, but it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion
Yeah,
that the town can ask for at the owner's expense to make sure that this is approved, that it's gonna work. Because like I say, if any of this section between the houses is supposed to go into this drainage pond or rain garden, I don't think they're gonna have the slope, and just a little hump is gonna stop it from working properly.
yeah.
So I think,
I'm just looking to see if, for the rain garden, did they say anything about?
and another just side comment, if they use these recharge trenches,
Elevations.
why aren't they putting fabric filter over them as they are in the driveway ones to protect it from silt? Maybe they're saying that silt won't run off from the roof, and probably not, but regardless, they don't meet the building code,
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
in my opinion. They don't meet it, and I quoted right from the book.
And you're the man that we want to question it. That's your job, so that's why we're anxious to hear what you had to say. You got a
Yeah.
copy of this, did you, from the DPW?
Yes, I
Okay.
did, and
Today.
yeah, and I agree, they have, they had the sewer lines running under the rain garden, which makes absolutely no sense. Everything's supposed to be best management practices, and they're running sewer lines under it. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Sewer and
Yeah,
gas.
yeah.
If something happened, they'd have to dig it up, and if it rained, of course, this would fail as it's designed. But
Yeah.
But just the O and M plan, where it has to be swept, machine swept quarterly, that can get expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
And who monitors that?
Right.
Does someone from the Air Board of Health go out, or does the Neshoba Board of Health go out? And how much is it gonna cost? And I think it's very important to nail that down before there's any approval given. Because once it's sold and it's not
Right.
in a
That's-
deed or something, then it's gone, and you don't have a second chance.
Yep. No, you're right about that. This is true. Yeah, DPW is asking for recharge chambers. See what I'm seeing here on the trenches in the rain garden.
Yeah, and I'll just pass this around, it's something I pulled up online about roof recharge trenches. It's from Maryland, but it gives you a definite outline of how they're supposed to be constructed, and it doesn't match what's on this plan.
So, John, would you say looking, and you have this too, right?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
But I have
no,
read
I
it.
gave it, I put it here. I put it on here.
So,
Oh, yeah.
given
Downgrading
all the
of building
questions that you
structures.
have and the questions that Mark Wetzel put in this
I put
from
it
today,
Yeah.
we need a lot of questions and more answered and more details from him before we go forward with a public hearing.
It would be beneficial to the applicant to do this before a public hearing.
Yes, yes.
Instead of coming to the public hearing and then have it continued.
And have all this and
Yeah.
then have to do it, and then you go forward with another whole process again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie, you might know
This is
this.
pretty
When
interesting.
they,
That's pretty good.
when they make up, when Ross Associates is hired by somebody that's going through this process, and they do all this and they submit it, they don't have any of these guidelines accessible to them when they consult with their client? So that they don't make mistakes and they have to go back, like now, you're gonna go back and ask for a second opinion from Ross. You know what I mean? They don't have like a playbook or anything when they're making up these plans
Yeah,
for things
they
like
know
this.
they know it too good.
Yeah, I mean, they can access the building codes and it's
There-
But I mean,
there's-
just like anyone else
It just
can.
seems like such a waste of time to keep coming back to this between 3 different boards over and over. You know what I mean?
Well, they have to come here because of aquifer.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to come
Yeah.
to the building for a permit and zoning. And then because they're going to have over 8 parking spots, they have to go to the planning board for site plan
Right.
review. So they try and address everything at once, but all towns are different. You may walk into another town and they look at this and say, this is beautiful, here you go, on your way. And you may
Yeah.
have towns that question it even more than we're trying to get it right the first
But it's the
time.
aquifer that's the sticking point here because of where it's located. I mean, that
Yes.
could work someplace else in town, not over the aquifer, right?
Yes,
Yes.
depending on what zone they're in and what they have for open space and impervious surface. But by zoning, if this stayed a 3-family, the existing house, he wouldn't be able to have 4 units. He'd only be able to have 3 because of the size of the property.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But by zoning, it's kind of a windfall because he has 3 frontage streets and no front and
Yeah.
back, so he doesn't have to meet the larger setbacks. He only has to meet the 10-foot setbacks.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an odd
But-
parcel with
Yeah.
those streets.
By zoning, he, by right, he could do what he's doing as long as this gets converted back into a 2-family. And then, I have to wait and see what he brings in for plans and everything else. But like I say, the grading on the site with no final elevations and the contour lines are so far apart. You really can't tell how it's going to come out. I mean, Ross does it all the time, so they just assume, yeah, it's all going to pitch down, but
Yeah.
we're not site engineers. and-
Right.
And we need to be able to see it on paper to understand that it's going to work right.
Yeah.
And like I say, because of the elevations on the top of concrete and what they need to keep for slope away from the house and what they
Yeah.
need to keep for the framing away from the ground, it just looks very tight to me.
Yeah, it does. It does. That even worried me with the driveways where, he's got surface of the driveway graded at 248.5. I'm not entirely sure what is going to make all the water go this way into the rain garden and not this way out into the street. Because
Well-
this is 248, this is 248. Rainwater's not going to go where you tell it to go.
It's got to be pitched towards
Yeah,
the rain
exactly.
garden.
It's gotta be pitched.
And it's got to be pitched away from the house, so it's almost going to have to be askew like this.
Yeah, yeah.
In order to work how
That's
this
right.
is designed. And, if you're going by best management practices, I don't think putting a rain garden directly a foot or 2 from the street, because you're gonna have the salt, you're gonna have the sand when the plow comes by.
Yeah, I know.
And it's gonna be filling this up constantly.
I know.
If it were more towards I don't know, it just is very tight, where the driveways are right there, like you say, and the plowing, the salt, the sand, this seems like it's gonna get silted in constantly.
It does, yeah. What's the distance here between the outside edge of the rain garden and the street?
And this, well, they've got
Is that,
a 20-foot driveway, and I would probably say that it's no more than 2 feet.
yeah,
3 at the utmost. I don't have a ruler with me.
yeah, I bet you it probably is, just a couple of feet.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, it's pretty damn close. I think he actually would have a lot better luck if he were willing to take this down to one of these things, rather than trying to cram 2 on that property,
There's
because,
no way he's gonna do that.
yeah, but there'd be less stress on the aquifer.
Oh, I
If-
understand that,
And he's so,
but he made
so far
that
over.
perfectly clear, that he intended to have the 6 units. Financially, that's what he's gonna do, but you're right, because Pond Street doesn't have sidewalks, so when they plow,
Right.
whatever.
Pond Street has no sidewalks.
I know, we have it in my area, a lot of people don't have a
Right.
sidewalk, and you see what they're doing now? They're putting rocks and mulch there and saying, you know what? They have to plow, it's salt and sand,
Yeah, I know.
it kills
Yeah,
everything,
it's all
so
going
this
up.
is how we're
I
gonna
know.
take care of it, so.
And even if you have a sidewalk, the sidewalk plow comes by with a snow blower.
Yeah, that's right,
Just
you're
would fill
right.
that,
You get it.
would
But
fill that
this is-
pond.
Yeah, you're
But he
right.
made that perfectly clear.
Right, and when you have you're gonna have the most water runoff into these areas in the spring, and that's where you're gonna have all the salt and sand in there, and
I know.
And like I say, from the elevations I see, it has to be perfect in order to work
Yeah.
as designed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is this over-designed? That's another question for them. Did they over-design it in case there is a failure somewhere?
Yep.
You know, is it exactly designed to catch just what they need to make their calculations
Right,
work?
yeah,
Or is there any
yeah,
room for
yeah.
error if it gets silted in?
Yeah,
And if so, by how much? And
Yeah.
is there a standard for that they go by?
yeah. Well, is there anything, I'm really glad you came, because I was gonna give you a call or send you an email about this anyway. What's the deal with, for residential, the number of parking spaces per unit? And does an inline garage and outdoor parking spot like this really constitute two? Because Pond Street is a pretty narrow street.
Yeah.
So I can see easily people say, I'm not parking on the street. I'm not gonna get my roommate up in the, middle of the night, or my husband to move their car. So now you're gonna have people parking over here too. And it's a tight street.
Yeah.
It's a tight street.
I
Parking
never seen
spots.
anybody park on Pond Street.
I never have either.
Well, that's,
Because
we're
I'm,
gonna adding houses in the condos next door, have enough parking.
they're right.
And the other house,
right.
the garage for the street across, it goes as front to back lot. So there's a driveway there, and then you have the corner house, which is on the other street. So
Yeah,
there's really just the apartment house
yep,
and the condos that are actually on Pond Street there until you add this.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't state side by side or front to back. You have to have a 10 by 20 space.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just 10 by 20, that's it. It doesn't matter where, how.
But you need
You
two
need
for
two.
Yeah, you need
residential.
two.
In downtown business, you only need one.
Okay.
So you need two. Um, But, it has to go before the planning board for the site plan review on that. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're gonna
Yeah,
have an issue
exactly.
with how they have, I really didn't look at that portion of it.
Well, I
But
guess,
yeah, there's a lot of questions I think still need to be answered.
well, the way Carly explained it when Jane had forwarded our questions was that the proper order to do this is to get through Board of Health with the
Has to be.
aquifer, see if we're going to grant the aquifer permit. So if we do or don't, then, these other things then do or don't come into play. So I would say that it seems like the way it's shaping up is he kind of has an option at this point to either go back and do the things here that DPW is asking him to do. He's got a tough row to hoe here because he's trying to do an awful lot of impervious surface in an aquifer district.
And we said that to him.
Exactly. And so, he can do that additional design work. That doesn't guarantee him he's going to get his permit.
We're,
It's his choice.
exactly, and a lot of our problems are, and Charlie, you know this, we're a small community, a lot of the properties were done, things were done prior to zoning, and it's difficult, but we don't want to make a further mess or problem, and our job is to protect the aquifer. And
Most definitely, yeah.
Right, and,
if it doesn't make him happy, that's too
yeah,
bad, we're doing our job.
yeah, it's to look out for the best interests of the town first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the other thing is we're just asking for more information to be able to assess the situation properly and make a decision based on that, not that he gives us this information and we have it and everything's okay.
Right.
We need to dissect that information
Yeah,
to see if it all works, because I would say as it is here, we don't know if this is gonna work without these questions we have answered. And then it still may not work, or it may not be acceptable to the Board of Health for that much impervious surface.
yeah, that's the thing that we can't give him is, there's actually some additional engineering work to be done to satisfy DPW. You know, they're asking him to look at recharge chambers, and
Right.
they want calculations for the design of the trenches and the rain garden. So the thing we can't tell him is, if you invest in this additional engineering work, you're gonna be okay. You know, you're gonna get your
Well, no,
your
we can't.
permit. It's more,
And also
Yeah.
with the recharge trenches, they really need to speak to the building department to
exactly, right,
and
right.
show me where they're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fire code,
yeah.
because
That's
I-
why I was trying to tie you and the zoning into it, because I had a feeling that this wasn't just, like, we could approve something because, oh, we think that where these trenches are, they're fine. And then they get to you and you say, no, 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 you can't put the trenches there.
Right.
So then it comes back to us.
Right,
We have to look at
that's
them
a big
somewhere
problem.
else, so.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
the-
And like I say, as far as I read it and Gage looked at it, that our code is very specific on the grading away from the foundation.
So what we should do then is get in touch with him. He's got a copy of this that
Yep.
needs to be done
Yep,
with the comments from you.
yep,
I would have another meeting with him and you know, pose all the questions to him and tell him you need answers for this before you can
Yep.
even think about making any sort of decision.
yeah.
You need all that information, especially the operation and maintenance plan, because that could get costly. And like I say,
Yeah.
the whole thing's dependent on everything working together.
Yeah.
And something fails, what's gonna happen and who's gonna pay for it?
And I can easily see that falling by the wayside if, you know,
And you-
say there isn't really a, full condo association formed because he only sells 1 out of 3 units, and,
Right,
it's like, that.
or if he sells out
You
4
know.
and someone loses their house, right,
Yeah,
something or
yeah,
other, and they're
yeah,
not paying
exactly.
their share and something happens.
yeah, yeah,
So it's important to get that, just like when a developer comes in for a road, you have a bond set
Yeah.
aside
Yeah.
until it's
Yeah.
approved, and, but this is an ongoing thing
that's right.
with this.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
this is gonna last for the longevity of the,
I know.
whatever's
yeah.
on this property.
That's right.
When you do a bond like that, is it typically a rolling thing from year to year, or, like, if we were to ask for a bond to make sure that, say, if the condo association just falls apart, or whatever, a couple people or one person even loses their house, and they're not putting enough into their own association to maintain it, so the town has to take it over. Does that bond money just get put up at the beginning and it just kind of sits there forever, or do you have to keep kind of renewing it every year?
Well, when they go through the planning board for a road, what happens is they have a cost associated with the road.
Yeah.
And as they complete portions of the road, they get portions of the money released back.
Okay.
And then
okay.
when the town accepts the road, it's the town's road now, and all the responsibility's done, so they get the rest of the bond money back. But,
This is different, because
well, the town council could set it up so it lasts.
that's what it'd have to do, I
Another-
think.
That's
yeah.
why I keep emphasizing the operation and maintenance plan
Yeah,
is
yeah.
important, because there's a lot of cost associated with
Mm-hmm,
it if it's done the way that they say it needs to be done to keep this functioning
Yeah.
properly.
And I think that should be, that would, if he gets his aquifer permit, that would be one of the conditions on the permit, is that, we have town council work out how that bond would work, it gets put up, it's,
Believe
you
me,
know,
we
there's a
have
contingency
had
plan.
problems in this town because bonds were released without
Mm-hmm,
the proper authorities knowing, and then we
Yeah.
got stuck.
And that's why I'd also ask for, if it's accepted, a peer review on the operation and maintenance cost.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you
Yeah.
can't have the applicant say, well,
Get some
it's
cost estimates.
$500,
Yeah.
or get his cost estimates.
yeah,
You know, we have to protect the town first and then worry about the applicant later.
yeah, exactly.
Charlie, are you going to send your concerns over to him? Do you want him to come in and see you? How is it that you intend to do it?
If he or whoever's working with him for Ross wants to come up to the office, you know, during office hours, I'm there.
Okay.
Because
Well, I didn't know if you preferred to just email all this that you said, or if you want our board to do it. He must have this, I would
From the
think.
DPW?
From the
No,
DPW.
this was
We
for
just got
us.
it.
Well, this came,
Yeah.
yeah, this was a,
No, this is for
Yeah.
the
I
Board
mean,
of Health.
if you want to relay it, that's fine with me. If you want me, I'm just a little leery of writing it down because it's kind of confusing.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
I
have
know.
been jumping
Yeah.
from one to the other
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I have
yeah,
probably
yeah.
10 or 12 things
All right,
that
why
I
don't
see.
we do this? Why don't we have Jane tomorrow morning, first thing, email a copy of this?
To him.
Yeah, what do
Yeah.
you two board members think about
Yeah,
that?
that would,
absolutely.
Yeah, we
Start
like it.
with that.
Yeah,
because these are the basic concerns on here anyways,
Yeah.
besides the other ones that you brought up, which were good.
Yeah.
And you could have
I don't
them
know if
in
you
for
wanna add
another
those.
meeting.
yeah.
So after Jane gets this over, do you want us to also ask him to contact you? Or how do you want to handle this? Or we can have Jane also send some of your concerns that you've said tonight along with the email.
Why don't, I'm a little leery of putting this in writing and committing to writing. I would rather send
Just this.
Mark Wetzel's a copy of this,
Mm-hmm.
and request that he contact Charlie.
Well, that's what I just said a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, I
contact
think-
you.
Contact.
That would
I
be
think it would be
better.
better if I spoke to him in person.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And,
Yes.
because I just did a brief outline, I've
Yeah.
got a lot more notes written down, but I
Yeah.
don't want to bore you guys with
Well,
all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
mine
the things
got
that I have an issue with.
quite a
And
bit
some of
here.
them may go away
Yeah.
just by speaking with them. And then after, if I meet with them and speak with them, then the concerns they haven't addressed of mine, then I'll put it
Yeah.
in writing to you guys.
Yeah.
And then you can deal with it at a meeting.
I'll tell you, the one I see as a real sticking point is the recharge trenches here.
I do
And the
too.
fact that he doesn't have room to do it according to building code.
Well, he could do it if he got rid of the recharge trenches. He could grade it down, but you need the recharge trenches, from what I understand, to make this whole system work.
You do. You need it to get the recharge, to
Yeah,
get.
because
to get
I don't
water
see how
going
they
back
could
in. Yeah,
pitch anything unless, because they have to pitch it all the way from the house, and you can't throw it on the other lot.
that's right,
You can't throw it
yeah.
on the main
Can't throw it in the street, yeah.
And if you put it back, there's no room back. There's no room here for even a
No.
rain garden of that size to handle all the drainage, so.
No, there
I
isn't.
think
That
there's
would be-
gonna be a lot more cars on this if he sells it, like he plans right now. You can't assume that because a couple buy a condo that they're only gonna have one car.
Of course.
You know, everybody goes in different directions, so
Yeah.
you've got you could have 4 cars from just the one building, another 4 on the other.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you've got 2 units in what
Yeah.
is the original house, so that's a lot of,
Yeah, by the town bylaw, he only needs 2, and we have no on-street parking from whatever, October or November 15th until.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to, hopefully, if it does get approved, they just don't park on the grass.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
would
I know. No, because, I mean, you know how narrow the street is, you live right there, I live
Yeah.
right over here,
Yeah.
so I'm on that street all the time, and it's narrow. I was driving up that street the other day trying to picture, now, I'm here, my car's here, if there's a car parked there, there's no way somebody can be coming in the opposite direction, you know, it's gonna have to be one of those, you stop and you wait for the other person to go around, and what a mess.
And when you park on the street during a storm, and, I mean, we had it a couple of years ago, remember, when we kept having one storm after another? and
Yeah,
Like every
yeah.
other night. it
Yeah,
would be-
yeah.
And the snow was piled
Yeah.
high, people were
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect the guys to do? First of all, you've got 35 cars on the street.
I know.
They're trying to pull around, then people are pulling over on lawns, or they're driving out, well then, you have another stop. It was a horror
Yeah.
show.
But you have to remember, by right, this is allowed by zoning with the way he has the parking. So.
Yeah, the parking,
Yes,
right,
that's
the parking is
our
not,
issue.
yeah.
Right, so I think if we concentrate on the elevations and the drainage and the siltation of
Yeah.
the rain garden and the recharge trenches, I mean, I think it's a lot to be asking in the aquifer zone.
I think it's.
You know, if it was 18% or 20% and you had to get to 15, this is
Right,
almost triple.
exactly, that's my concern with it,
But that's up to the Board of Health, so.
yeah.
Well, I told him when he first came, I hated the plan, but I would follow the rules scrupulously. But
Yeah.
as an individual, I can say, I think it's an ugly plan to do on a main street. No, it's true. I see it
Yeah,
as an individual, but I would follow the rules of the Board of Health. And we all have a right to.
well, it's not really in keeping with the neighborhood either, to be cramming so much stuff on one lot.
No,
You know, those
no, it isn't.
lots in general are not really
No.
like that. There's a house and there's a yard, you know?
This is
Yeah.
unique to this, having
Yeah.
the 3 streets and everything,
Yeah.
and being on the
Yes.
aquifer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
It's hard.
interesting about the setback. So if you have, does it matter what the address of these are? So like if the address of these houses are Pond Street, does this become the front yard and
Just
this the
says
side?
frontage on a way.
Ah, okay.
So technically, it's East Main Street, but what about those, all of them, it's gonna be 41A, B, whatever, their condos, whatever number
I
apartment they have,
no
I
idea.
think they'll
how
have a
that
Pond
happens.
Street address for the
for the 2 on the
To
side.
no
2 units and Oak Street
I think
for
so too.
the other one and none on East Main Street.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Well, there's no driveway on East Main Street.
That's
No,
true.
No, there's not, it's
Although-
just the porch.
but there isn't
itself.
now.
My daughter's on the corner of Maple and Fletcher, and her garage is on Maple, but her address is Fletcher because years ago that was the front door to the house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was on Fletcher. Then they put the kitchen in the other door, and you turn down at Pauline's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the house with the grapevines on the fence.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
my daughter.
Oh,
That's
okay,
her
okay.
husband's
She's on 2.
mother's
Yeah.
house, grandparents' house.
Yes, right. It was the Fallon
Yeah.
house when I grew
Yeah,
up.
so my daughter married Nick, so, and their address is actually
okay.
20 Fletcher Street, but we put the garage on, and the kitchen door is on Maple.
Right, so
So
yeah.
that's how I think-
Yeah,
That will work because
yeah.
So the original house is going to have an Oak Street address.
I would
You
think so.
Maybe,
and-
yeah.
And I would do
Kinda
Pond
makes
Street for
sense.
public safety reasons. The fire department is
Yeah,
gonna go to
true.
Pond Street where the 2 houses are,
Yeah.
rather than East Main Street and Oak Street, even though they may have East Main Street addresses.
Yeah, because by the time you get back here, you're pretty far away from Main Street. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even think about that address for the
Yeah.
original one when we
Yeah.
were discussing it. We
Yeah,
had so
yeah.
many questions for him. And he had changed it from the original
Yeah.
time he had come in. He had made a few.
Well, I don't know, somewhere along the way it became 44.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
It's already changed
He's
address.
across the street.
All right, well then why don't we, anything else that you want?
No.
So we'll get this off to him first thing tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and with a note to ask him to please contact you.
If he comes to our next meeting, does it make sense for Charlie to come to that meeting? And
Well, we,
I mean, I could come to it even if it's not a public hearing,
Sure.
but it would be more beneficial for the applicant, for him or Ross or whoever he's using, is to come in and see me. and-
oh, I'd love for him to just
Some-
work out his
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, some of the
yeah.
smaller issues, he may give me an
Yeah.
answer that's satisfactory and it
Okay.
meets whatever regulation, then I can cross it off.
Okay.
And then from there, you can probably determine if you need me to come
Yeah.
to the next meeting, if there's
That
a
makes
few
sense, yeah.
simple questions or
if we, and
questions that
we're
are pretty
hoping we get a
direct.
lot of response to
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and he goes to see you, and that will determine.
Yeah.
So we can't even talk about a public hearing until we have some of this.
Yeah, and how does the clock work?
Well, I
it's-
should have looked at, right on the front of that red folder, there's a time clock. I think
Okay.
it's 65 days from the
Yes.
Filing.
filing. So we need to be cognizant of the dates. Because
And can
the
you
clock
have, you
is
can have an
ticking.
extension if they sign it, right? And you sign
It
it?
has to be a bilateral, I think.
But what about in a case like this where we don't have all the information
Well, I
that,
think that's why you have a public hearing. And
Yes, you can go to the public hearing
Yeah.
and then ask for all this information then, and then the public hearing will be continued because
okay,
they
I
would
got it.
ask you to continue because they wouldn't want you to rule without this information. 'cause
Right,
More than
right,
likely,
right, right.
if you don't have the information
You can't.
to make it, you're not gonna
So
approve something.
Okay.
we can do
okay.
two things. We could either set a public hearing, which would have to be for, I was gonna suggest our second meeting in October anyway, or we can ask him if he would agree to an extension due to the fact that we have all these
Well,
questions.
I would set your public hearing
Well,
And then
Just-
do the,
within the 65 days.
Yeah,
And, you know, if an applicant, not just him, but any applicant wants to move forward, they're gonna get all the information that they can to the board before it's time for the public hearing.
you want,
yeah, we've got to be very careful about those dates.
well, okay.
Okay.
I'm looking at that right now. I'm looking at the failure to respond in writing within 35 days.
No.
That's from,
actually
that's
for
from town
us.
board.
Actually, excuse me, actually, this will work fine because the 65-day deadline is 10/18, which is a Tuesday, and I was going to suggest our public hearing for our meeting on the 17th.
What happens if someone can't make it?
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
how
well,
it
then
goes.
it'll either have to be the 3rd or the 17th because in October, we meet on the 1st and the 3rd because of the holiday and then town meeting.
I would give yourself 2 weeks previous,
All
just
right,
in
then we'll
case.
have to have the
someone
public
can't
hearing
make it.
on October 3rd,
Yeah, that's
Monday the 3rd.
And that gives the applicant a couple of weeks to get information to the DPW and come visit with me.
You gonna be here, Pam? Everybody
Yeah,
gonna be around?
the
Yeah.
3rd, did we say?
the third is, it's not Clemens Day, is it?
No, Columbus Day is the 10th, that's why we're meeting the
Right.
Oh,
the
I know,
third.
I'm so
first and the
confused
3rd
now.
because
10-3.
town meeting is on the.
So if you don't have a
4th.
quorum on your first meeting, you'd still make your timeline if you had to have it on your second meeting in the month.
Got it. So we're meeting on the 3rd. Does that mean we don't meet on the 26th?
No,
Or we
no,
do?
no, I'm talking about.
No, I'm asking about us.
No, we meet the 26th.
We do, okay. And then we meet again the following
And
week
then
on the
we-
3rd,
That's what,
okay.
remember I reminded us before that we
Yeah,
meet 2 weeks
yeah,
in a
yeah.
row due to the change.
Okay,
It's the
got it.
same kind of change we have in May, remember?
Yeah.
Because of town meeting and holidays.
Okay, so if we, so the 18th is when the 65?
So let's plan the public hearing then for Monday, October 3rd.
Works for me.
Now, is that a posting? For-
Yes, we'll
Yes.
have to post. Now, I have a question about the posting, if I can ask. Who pays for it? Do we pay for it? Does he pay for
He
it?
pays for it.
Okay. Do we go ahead and submit the wording and do that and then bill him, or does he pay
He
first?
pays first.
Okay.
That's how we did it. Remember, Pam with 5 4th Street?
Yeah,
Okay. So I get a quote from the paper and then.
yeah. So it's gonna have to
It has
run
to
in the
go twice,
paper.
right?
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks, yeah.
so it's gonna have to run the 23rd and the 30th. That's fine, though.
Yeah, we've got time.
Yeah,
Now-
yeah.
You should have a copy of the public hearing notice that went for 5
I
4th
have it
Street.
already.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same one that,
It might even be in that folder. I should
It's
have
the
brought
same
it down.
wording?
it's
Same.
the very same
Yeah,
wording.
it can be exactly the
Says
same.
it, and then it lists the 3 of us, and then, you
Yeah.
know, you would read the public hearing notice when we open it. We'd schedule for like 5:45 that day, just in case we have a couple of things to get
Yeah.
off first, and
Yep.
then devote it, because I think that'll
That
take
sounds
up the whole
reasonable.
meeting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it won't.
Yes, okay, then why don't we plan that for
Sure.
public hearing at 5:45 on Monday, October 3rd.
Yeah,
All
sounds like a
Okay,
plan.
if you're done with me, I'm gonna depart.
Thank you very,
I think
very
so,
much. for your
thanks.
attention.
Okay.
Thank you for
That's
coming.
wonderful.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, I'm upstairs Monday and Tuesdays only.
Aye.
Okay, so let's get that.
Great. So-
I didn't have, Madam Chairman, I did not have anything from Neshoba Associated Boards of Health today.
Oh, I did talk to her, though. I can
Oh, okay.
speak to that. Just a second. Let me get this, so I get this down. October 3rd, 5:45, public hearing.
Not that it matters.
She must have forgot, but she only had a few,
Yeah, it was like she forgot to take the stuff I left for her too. She'd been there, she moved everything, but she must have left and not realized she wasn't coming back or something.
Huh.
Because she didn't take the stuff with her that she should have taken,
Yeah, you do have the warning
yeah.
for it already, yeah.
let me see, so I won't have to
This was
pull
in the
mine
little
out.
packet.
Same one?
Yeah. Actually, it looks like you wrote it all up for this site.
Because we had already planned on posting.
Yeah, and I ran it by Carla because she wanted to make sure that everything.
But except that you put all our names,
Huh?
you put all our names under the public hearing
Yes.
notice. Yeah,
It just has to be Mary though, right?
no, we
Okay.
always
Okay.
put the 3 before.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Oh, yeah, because
Okay.
that's why
All
I
right.
looked.
Oh, and I didn't put all 3, I just
No.
put.
Oh, I
You
thought
just
it was
said-
the chairperson.
No.
Oh,
we've
okay.
Oh,
always-
because I submitted that to, I ran that by Carly, and that's how she said to do
When, just look at the one for 5.
it. Okay, but
Fine.
she
Four.
was concerned that we meet the legal parameters.
We meet the legal, but it was,
Okay.
because I remember Heather was, I think, I don't remember, you were chair when it was 5 4th Street or
I don't
Heather was,
remember.
but I remember reading I think it was clerk and I read the notice, so, and I know.
Okay, I'll put
Yeah,
all 3
yeah,
names.
yeah.
Okay. So as
Yeah.
far as Bridget must have forgot to leave, again, she said that she had received a couple of complaints of trash she didn't name which property. She said, you know, people call, they say there's trash and such and such, you drive by, you see nothing. So, she said that we'll be getting pretty soon all the permits because it's time for the annual food permits to be renewed.
Right, yeah.
That she has to go back to that property on East Main Street,
Mm-hmm, yep.
and that I think that no more complaints about the rat problem.
Good,
Yeah, so
Good.
that seems to have all been straightened out.
okay, good.
And she said she said she had a couple of animal bites, and it had come through, and she said, I think they were for Colleen Purdy.
Yeah,
So she must have either gone out again, maybe she got a call and took it, because she says, I'll leave these here for you, and I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, if you look in the correspondence, in the mail folder, you'll see in the back, I think in the very back of that are all the animal bites. We have a whole bunch of them right now.
Okay,
But Carlene has been notified.
yeah, all right.
And we've also been notified that a bat was caught and sent in, and it came back negative for rabies, so.
Oh, okay.
You know, but, they're just routine
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, I did ask her to, and you probably read it in the paper a few weeks ago about Townsend coming up with age 21
Yes, I did.
cigarettes and
Yeah.
whatnot. And I said, that we as a board had discussed this several times, and it was our opinion we not having any problem with any of our businesses, and that we would wait to see what the state was going to do, that they keep
Yeah.
talking about raising it, but of course it's an election year, so they're all busy off campaigning and whatnot,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was our opinion right now, and she said she would, I think Rick is out there, and she was going to see if there was anything in particular, any information she could get from Townsend, and she'd pass it back to us.
Okay.
So that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, I did see that, and I thought, oh,
So there's some comments here from Rich Doherty with regards to AOC 50, the maintenance.
Okay,
Hill
okay, yeah.
landfill, the
Yeah.
annual report, etc.
yes, yeah. And the RAB meeting, by the way, has been postponed.
The one for the 20th?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's postponed to, it was supposed to be next Thursday, it's postponed to October something.
Well, that's what it says here. Next
Yeah.
RAB meeting is rescheduled for Thursday, October 20th.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And let's see. This is a complaint from someone at Canongate, because of the roof is there, the insulation, they're putting on new shingles with no insulation. Her unit has a mansard roof, and she expects they will be working today. She had to go because it was irritating her asthma, and there was mold up there, and she spoke with the building inspector, and he suggested she call the Board of Health.
Mhm.
That's that. Fall town meeting is the 24th. I don't think we have any articles we want in.
No.
And then there's this, I think we had discussed this before, all this going on with regards to, you had asked for some information and zoning and off-street
Yeah,
parking and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
So, pretty much if you want to look at any of it, that's
I
pretty
was
much
curious about the
everything.
animal bites and
And
what's going on there.
And I have to say about the animal vets, it's really great. The local vets are notifying Carly directly by email,
Great.
and that's really helpful.
Good.
So it's much better.
Okay. This is good.
Okay.
Oh, this is the bat. Yeah. Lemonster Hospital. Huh. Okay. Wow, there's a flush of animal bites, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
know,
I wonder
this is
why.
like-
I don't know.
They come in.
Seems like they're all in my neighborhood, too. What's in the water?
Yeah, I have this to say about the animal bites, is they do come in waves.
That's funny.
And we'll go through a period of time where we
Yeah.
won't have
Is
any.
it
and
during the full moon or something?
I have no clue. I should start tracking.
Yeah, it would
Tracking
be-
those dates?
I don't know what it is, either it
That
doesn't
could be
rain, but what
interesting,
it's
yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Huh.
Funny.
There was one little girl that ended up at Mass General.
I see that,
And
yeah.
Carlene called about her, and it wasn't serious, but it was involved her hand, I think, or something, so
Oh, okay, okay. So, yeah.
it was a precautionary thing.
Yeah. I know, that surprised me. I saw the MGH thing.
So she called to follow up.
There you go. I know, I keep an eye on my dogs. Make sure there's not a dog code going around. This is the week we bite.
Yeah, there's something, there's a pulse, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't have cell phones, you know. I'm listening to Pulse by Stephen King. maybe.
Ah,
Everybody goes crazy with the cell phones.
they don't need cell phones. They have hydrants and telephone poles to sniff. That's where they get all their info.
And rest, yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's all right.
I'm glad it's
That's all
you.
right.
If it was anybody else, it'd be.
That's okay.
Okay.
I think that probably our next meeting will be a busy meeting too. Especially if we get some
Yeah.
answers to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, my trip works out really well, so that I'll be gone and come back in time for the next meeting, so
Oh, you're off again?
I am. I am.
But it'd be nice weather over there, right?
I think it's gonna be really nice, yeah, probably should be nice alpine fall weather.
Isn't that funny? We never even thought about the main residents. That's true. Right now, they go in the south.
Well, when you said 3 streets, that's when, and you started talking about parking, I'm like, okay, what door are they gonna go out of?
Yeah.
They have their choice, or where they're gonna put their mailbox, or?
Yeah, all their door, on the new properties, the doors all face onto,
Onto Pond.
Pond.
Yeah.
But we didn't give any thought. But he's right, the main one, because
yeah.
there isn't a drive up there, so. maybe
No, there's no
we-
driveway, the front door comes out,
But there
to
will be-
Maine,
he
but
said
yeah,
they'll
all the-
probably charge, you know,
Yeah.
beyond Oak Street. That's-
yeah.
And he's right, we do have a few kind of confusing spots.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. We should get through with the minutes of August 22nd.
I read those and I am fine with them. Do you have any comment
Okay.
on the minutes, or shall I move that we approve them?
That's what I'm waiting.
All right, I move that we
Okay.
approve
Second.
the minutes from
Okay.
our last meeting.
Motion was made and seconded to approve the minutes of August 22nd, 2016. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So that takes care of that. As far as bills, we have one here for WB Mason for $20.76.
Outrageous.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah, you know, I couldn't pass that up.
I got new writing tablets.
Yeah.
Such a spendthrift.
It's time for the second quarter invoices from Neshoba Associated Boards of Health.
Yeah,
So that, it's for a total of $6,359.78.
it's always our big one.